Hey, top of the evening to y'all. What's up with it? I see y'all tuning in as usual, man. We're gonna have another good one this evening. Yeah. Give y'all a minute to get in as usual. As you can see, it's a beautiful day where I am. Looking good, feeling good, smelling good, all that. Yeah. I see y'all. Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me fine. Can you hear me cool? I see y'all, top of it. What's up with it? Okay, cool. Cash money, good looking, man. The third one, what's up with it, man? I see you. Y'all feeling this motherfucker up fast today. I see you. I don't know if it's because I caught y'all at a good time or y'all catching me at a good time or what. But y'all tuning in fast. Yeah. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, please do so. You did. Yeah. I don't know about where y'all at. It's a beautiful day over here. Hold on, let me do something real quick before we get to. So we don't get no unnecessary disturbances. What's up with y'all? Give it just a second more, man, and we're gonna get to it. Interesting topic today. A lot of young ladies need to start having a brain before they start having these babies, man. A few more people and we're gonna get started. Please continue to hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Just Jazz. Haha, what's up with it? I see you. Back tuned in again, huh? It's all right. Be cold, you crazy. Can I stand up again? I ain't gonna stand up, but I'll sit up. How about that? Shit. We're gonna give it just a few more moments. Ray Gunn, I see you. Blessings to you as well. Missing Bitch, yeah, it's a nice day over here, man. It's a beautiful day over here. I'm loving it. It's a little bit warm, but it's all good. Gerald K, I would say to you, man, if that's not what you want to do, then yeah, it's probably in your best interest to refrain from that kind of conversation. It's a lot more than meets the eye with this shit, so, you know, I don't encourage anybody to try to pimp or anything like that, you know. I just pop game because it's the lifestyle that I'm interested in, and you know, I pop it for people that's interested in it. But as we all know, you know, game is universal. Game has universal application, if you ask me. So, you know, I pop it for everybody. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. But before we get too far into it, have you had your water today? Have you had your water today? If you haven't hydrated yourself today, please do so. As you can see, I'm about to do that right now. Be cold. Go get yourself some water. That coffee is going to dehydrate you. And that juice got a lot of sugar in it. You need to put some water in your life. Only other thing you might see me drinking besides water is one of these Monster Rehabs. Now, mind you, I don't drink anything carbonated. And these right here are non-carbonated energy drinks. I've never had a carbonated energy drink. I've never had a Red Bull at all, period. I don't even know if they make non-carbonated Red Bulls. I drink these. I mean, it's an energy drink, but for me, I think it's more of a placebo than anything. I just like the taste of it. You know, I like to have something with a little bit of flavor besides water all the time. But yeah, man. With no further ado, these young ladies having these babies need to have a brain before they have these babies. It's a trip. The times that we living in is more selfish. We living in the most selfish times ever, man. If you really pay attention to the world, especially the U.S., if you pay attention closely to the U.S., you'll notice that it's become more and more selfish, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. It's probably showing more signs of increasing. Like if you just think about it, like you know, individuality is cool, but individuality is highlighted in such a way that it prompts a lot of people to be selfish. Like for instance, if you pay attention, you don't really see a lot of groups nowadays when it comes to music, right? Like back in the days, it was a whole bunch of like talented groups, a whole lot of successful groups in music, you know, especially like within hip hop and R&B. But nowadays, if you pay attention, 9 times out of 10, it's a lot of solo artists. You know, that's just one example. You know, and social media, like I always say, man, social media got a whole lot to do with that shit. But the world that we living in today is just it really prompts a lot of people to be selfish, especially a lot of these young ladies. And see, I understand beyond just the social media thing and beyond what the media and entertainment promote, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of the young ladies in today's times are selfish. And I'm gonna get into that in just a minute. But you know, I always like to use references within the game, man. And when it comes to this game, it's a lot of young ladies in the game just portraying themselves as hoes, you know, endeavoring to be hoes, prostitutes, what have you, that have babies in the game, and it's fucked up because a lot of times they're not prepared to have this baby. Now, just truthfully speaking, realistically speaking, most people who have kids aren't really perfectly prepared to have kids. But you want to at least be in a position where you can take care of yourself, and if you have a kid, possibly be able to take care of this kid. But you got a lot of young ladies in the game that's so confused and so selfish, they can't take care of themselves. And they don't understand that selfishness is a big part of the reason why they can't take care of themselves. A lot of girls in the game got this mentality of looking out for number one, but like I say, a lot of them don't understand the philosophy of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. So, they do a lot of selfish, inconsiderate shit. And one of the biggest, most selfish, inconsiderate things that a lot of girls in the game is doing nowadays is having these babies. Like I say, they have them for a lot of selfish reasons. One of the worst things a bitch could do in the game is have a baby by a supposed to be pimp or a motherfucker that they put in a position to be they folks, having a baby with him in order to keep him. That's the most foolish and crazy thing that you could do in this game. You dig? And it's sad because a lot of these girls have these babies and they don't think about it till after the fact. Until after the baby is here, then reality smacks them in the face and it's like, damn, I'm not even ready to raise this child. I'm not even ready to take care of this baby. I could barely take care of myself. Reality smacks them like that, but I don't even think most of them really even think too far into it. They just do shit and think about it afterwards. And like I say, that selfishness. What ends up happening a lot of times with these females in the game, when they have a baby, they end up pawning the baby off to somebody else. Now the baby is being raised by grandma, and the baby is calling grandma mom and calling you Brittany or Jenny or whatever your name is. Baby calling you by your first name, or they pawning the baby off to the baby daddy. Like I spoke on before, right? Some of y'all probably heard me mention this before, but one thing tripped me out. I let this homeless old white dude, he was like in his 50s, right? I pulled up to the gas station. He wanted to pump my gas for a few dollars, so I let him pump my gas. We chopping it up, and he was like, man, one thing that's a trip to me nowadays, he was like, when I was coming up back in the days, in the 70s or whatever, a lot of times a woman will have a kid and the man will run off and leave the woman to raise the kid by herself. He was like, nowadays, it's more so the opposite than anything. Nowadays, you see a lot of single dads. The mother will leave the baby with the dad and she'll run off and go be running the streets and doing whatever. And now you got this single dad raising his kid or these kids. And I thought about that shit. I'm like, damn, that shit is so real. It's a trip how detached. Because like I said, selfishness is just so big among the youth nowadays, especially these females. It's a trip to me. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm not a woman. I can never be a woman, so I can't understand, from personal experience, what it's like to birth a child into this world and be detached from that child emotionally. It's a trip, but you see that shit is so common nowadays. And it's a trip because a lot of these chicks had these babies and they realize it's a mistake, but at the same time they don't want to be responsible for the mistake. You know what I mean? They don't want to accept the responsibility of taking care of this child and raising this child. And the cold thing about it, in dealing with these babies, a lot of times too, a lot of these bitches be using the child to disrespect the pimping. A lot of times, you know what I mean? Like y'all done seen the thumbnail of this video when you came in. If you look at that, if y'all remember the scene from It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, you know what I mean? She wasn't necessarily using the child initially, you know what I mean, to try to as a pawn to disrespect and pimping. But she subconsciously in her mind, she thinking like, oh well, he last thing he gonna do is kick me out because one, I'm making money, and two, I got this baby. You know what I mean? So I could just disrespect him any kind of way. I could just talk to him any kind of way, and you know he gonna accept it because I got this money. I'm getting this money, and I got this baby. You know what I mean? So he not gonna kick me out and keep the baby. You know what I mean? Because it's my baby, and he wants me to take care of it before he gonna take care of it himself. So he ain't gonna put the baby out on the street, so he ain't gonna put me out on the street. This is what a lot of these bitches be thinking. You know what I mean? And it was some hard shit that took place in that scene in the movie, but ultimately, like, you know, a lot of people probably look at him like, damn, he foul for kicking the baby out too with the bitch. But as harsh as it may seem, ultimately you got to look at that bitch, because had she not been so disrespectful to him, it wouldn't have came to that. You know what I mean? It would have never came to that if she hadn't been so disrespectful towards him. So like I said, that selfishness. Look at what her selfishness got her. You know what I mean? Her selfishness got her put out into the streets with her baby. You know what I mean? And the cold part about it, that situation is a real life. You know, it happens, especially in the game, in the lifestyle of you know, pimping and hoeing. It happens a lot. You know, that type of shit happens a lot. And what a lot of females in that position do is, out of desperation, you know, they put the responsibility on of that baby, you know, with a friend or a family member. You know what I mean? And it's sad, you know, like, I've seen it so many times where, you know, a lot of these females, they be so anxious trying to go get the money. Nah, I was waiting for that motorcycle to pass because it was loud. Nah, I ain't worried about that. You know what I mean? I ain't got no worries. But like I say, what a lot of these females end up doing when they get in a tight situation, you know, they want to go get some money, and in the process of doing that, a lot of times they ain't got no babysitter, they ain't got nobody to look after these kids. You know what I mean? So out of desperation, they'll just leave the baby with, you know, anybody. You know what I mean? They'll leave these babies with the most irresponsible of friends, family members, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Type of family member or friend, you know, that's gonna be drunk or high and sleep most of the time. And here it is, you got this baby that need their diaper changed, that need their bottle made, need to be fed, and they screaming and hollering, and this motherfucker is just over on the couch or in the bed, sleep. You know what I mean? Just totally neglecting this child. And you know what I mean? Meanwhile, the moms is out there, and the moms will fuck around and know what's going on in this situation. They know that this person is one of the most irresponsible people to choose to watch this kid. But again, that selfishness. You know what I mean? That selfishness will cause them to make desperate moves and leave these kids with these irresponsible people just for the sake of going to get some money. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it'll be because, you know, because this is my friend or this is my family member, you know, I won't have to pay them as much as I would have to pay, you know, a real babysitter or a professional, you know, business, a daycare or something like that. Because, you know, I don't know about a lot of other places, but, you know, in Arizona, for instance, Arizona, you know, it's a few places around Arizona that got 24-hour daycares. And I would imagine there's a lot of other places that got 24-hour daycares too. You know, now it might cost a little bit more, but this is your child. You know what I mean? And these are the types of things that you have to consider before you even have a child as a female in the game. That's why I say you really need to have a brain before you have a baby. You need to think about situations like that beforehand, like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm hoeing right now, you know what I mean? I'm in the streets, I'm out here getting my money. What if I was to have a baby? You know what I mean? I'm not going to be available to go get money as much as I would like to, because I'm going to have to take care of this child, you know? Or if I'm going to leave this child with a family member, you know, that's really not the best thing to do. But if I was to leave this child with a family member, you know, what family member will be responsible enough and trustworthy enough to take care of this child while I'm out getting my money? You know what I mean? Most females in the game don't think like that. They don't think that far ahead into the future. All they thinking is that, you know, I'm finna have this baby, and a lot of times, like I said, it be to try to keep the pimping in their life. Like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna have a baby with him, so he could treat me better than the other bitches that he got, you know. And then it's a trip. You know what I mean? Oh shit! Like, for instance, right? I know this pimp, right? He had a baby with this bitch, right? And he had some other hoes. So he's in a situation, right? He ends up knocking this new bitch, right? They over in Hawaii. And he's over there with his baby mama, and while he's over there with the baby mama, he knocked this new bitch. And the baby mama is intimidated by this new bitch because the new bitch is attractive. You know what I mean? Now, the baby mama, she not no bad looker neither, you know, but by this new bitch being, you know, a fresh situation in the household, and her being attractive, you know, the baby mama's intimidated by her. So what the baby mama start trying to do? Woo, life is a trip. Damn. Side note, right? I'm gonna continue with the story, but a side note. The power of the tongue is a motherfucker. The power of the tongue is a motherfucker, and me and Sinful always talk about this shit, right? Because, you know, me and Sinful, we've been around each other our whole time in this career. We came up in the game together, so we know a lot of each other's, you know, ex-hoes and ex-ladies that we've had in our life. So sometimes we'll be reflecting on some shit, right? Like, yeah, man, remember back in 2008, P, when, you know, when I had such and such bitch, you know what I mean? And we was over there in such and such city and state, and next thing you know, a text message will come out of nowhere, or a friend request will come out of nowhere, or a follow will come out of nowhere from this bitch that we was talking about that ain't neither one of us heard from in years and years and years. You know what I mean? So the power of the tongue is a motherfucker. So just like you can speak some shit like that into existence, you know what I mean? Speak on some other shit, you know what I mean? Like me. One of these days I really would like to be running a multi-million-dollar generating corporation, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna speak on that. You dig? I want to be a highly successful businessman in the very near future. You know what I mean? Let me speak that into existence. But anyway, back to the story, right? So the pimpin' over there in Hawaii got his baby mama with him. He knocked this new bitch. The new bitch comes, she's attractive. The baby mama kind of, you know, intimidated, a little jealous of the new bitch, right? So by her being new, you know, he need to take time with her to lace her and get her accustomed to his program, you know, basically build a rapport with her so they can see eye to eye and run, you know, the whole whatever they got going on run smoothly, right? So the pimpin' lets me know that it was a situation where the new bitch, she only been there a few days, right? So they in Hawaii, they staying in the hotel, and the three of them. But the pimpin', he was in the room with the new bitch, right? Because she had a situation, and she had just got a little ends or whatever. So she needed to break herself, and she needed to talk to him about the little situation that she had while she was out, doing her thing. So they in the room and they talking, right? They chopping it up, and he lacing her, right? So in the midst of all this, the baby mama comes into the room. Now, mind you, the ism, he not thinking about sex with either one of them. He ain't smashing the baby mama. He ain't smashing the new work. You know what I mean? He's really focused on, having some success with this household while they in Hawaii, right? So the baby mama come in the room, right? And she like, what y'all got going on? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ism like, bitch, like, what is you talking about? First of all, I'm not finna answer to you. You know what I mean? You don't run nothing around here. So the baby mama like, so you gonna sit here and tell me y'all ain't fucking? So Pete tell me when she say that, him and the new game look at each other, and then they look at the baby mama and they both start laughing, right? So of course the baby mama wasn't feeling that. And she was like, she mentioned like another wifey of hers that Ism had that wasn't there with them, but she was, somebody else that was fucking with him, right? So she was like, yeah, when we had the baby, you was over there with me when we first had the baby for like a week straight. We was just in the house, and you let that bitch take you away from the family, and woo, 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 woo. And Pimping said he had to tell her, like, no, I didn't let the bitch take me from the family. First of all, bitch, we not no family. Like, yeah, we got a baby together. I love my child and everything like that. But before I was your child's father, bitch, I was some pimping. You know what I mean? So don't think that you finna get some special type of treatment, just based on the fact that we got a child together. You know what I mean? You still a hoe, and I'm still pimping, and that's still what's going on. So no, it ain't. We wasn't finna be no family. You know what I mean? That's what the bitch, I guess, was thinking when they had the baby, because pimping, this is his first child. So his first child. So he was there, spending time with the baby for that first week or two when the baby came into the world. But, after that, duty called. He had work to go do, so he went pimping. You know what I mean? And that's another thing that I didn't mention. At the time when he had the baby with the bitch, she was hoeing first, right? When they met pimping and hoeing. Like, he knocked her as a hoe. It wasn't like they was boyfriend, girlfriend, and then, he started pimping and she started hoeing. Like, no. Before they met, she was already hoeing, and he was already pimping, and then he ended up knocking her, and then he ended up knocking her up, and then they ended up having a baby together, right? But when she had this baby, she was like, you know what? I don't want to be in the game no more. I got this job. You know what I mean? She had got a job while she was pregnant. I don't want to be in the game no more. I got this square job. I like this square job. So, I'm not going to hoe no more. He was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So fast forward to when the baby come around. Like I said, he over there spending time with the baby, but the baby mama is in his ear talking about she not trying to hoe no more. So he ended up knocking the other bitch, and he went pimping. I guess the bitch was thinking like, because we got this baby together and I don't want to hoe no more, and you ain't got a hoe right now, then you need to start pimping. I mean, you need to stop pimping and start, this square life with me, because we got this child together. The bitch was misunderstood. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was over there spending time with the baby, but as soon as he got some action and got some work, he went pimping. You know what I mean? So fast forward to the Hawaii situation, the bitch over there, in front of this fresh bitch, playing this baby mama role, like, you let that bitch take you away from the family. And he told the bitch, like, bitch, no. First of all, we wasn't no family. Second of all, it wasn't the bitch that took me away. It was the game. It was the pimping. That's what I was about, bitch. Like, before I was your baby daddy, I was some pimping. And after I was your baby daddy, I'm still some pimping. So, no, bitch, you got it misunderstood. We was never finna be no family. You know what I mean? Just because I didn't have a bitch at the time, don't mean that I was trying to give you the impression that we was finna be a family. But basically, bottom line is, the bitch, who knows? From the beginning, she might have thought, as soon as she found out that she was pregnant, she might have thought that they was gonna be a family. You know what I mean? But she was sorely mistaken. You know, Pimping kept pimping, and then what ended up happening? Excuse me. But like I say, what ends up happening is she ended up losing that square job, and after she ended up losing that square job, she got this child to take care of. You know what I mean? So what she ended up doing? She ended up coming back to the game. She ended up getting back with Pimping, and she ended up start hoeing again. You know what I mean? But I guess she's still under the impression that they finna be a family. But no, you had a baby with a pimp, bitch. Like, this ain't no square. You know what I mean? You knew he had other ladies in his life when y'all got together. You knew what type of lifestyle this was. You know what I mean? So that's just one example of a bitch having a baby for the wrong reasons, one, and then two, not having a brain before she had this baby. You know, if she would have had a brain before she had this baby, she would have thought to herself, like, okay, this is a pimp who I'm having a baby with. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna have a baby with him, I need to understand that he's some pimping. He was pimping before I met him, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be pimping after this baby. And he's not finna be my boyfriend, not finna convince him to get married to me. So I might as well get them thoughts out of my head. I might as well stop even thinking like that, because we not finna have no square relationship. He's gonna remain pimping. So if I'm gonna have this baby with him and I want to remain with him, you know, I'm gonna remain hoeing, and we just gonna, you know, we gonna keep it rocking like that. This is what she would have thought, you know, if she had a brain before. Or she might have thought, like, you know what, this is a pimp who I'm pregnant by right now, or who I'm thinking about getting pregnant by. I want to have a square relationship, and he don't. He's not thinking about having anything like that with me. So maybe I shouldn't have a baby with this person. Maybe I shouldn't have a baby with this man, because we got two different intentions, and that's not gonna work. You know, that's not gonna be the best situation to bring this baby into. So how about I not have a baby with this man? This is what should have been going on in her head, you know, if she had a brain before she had the baby. You did? Excuse me. So yeah, you know, as a young lady in the game, like I say, you want to have a brain before you have a baby. And the main thoughts that you need to be having in your head is unselfish thoughts. You need to be considering first and foremost the baby before you consider anybody. You know, because the baby ain't asking to be brought into this world. It's your choice to bring this child into the world. So, but what you got to understand is, by this baby not asking to be brought into the world, you know, it's not this child's responsibility to take care of itself. It's your responsibility as a mother. So, you gotta be unselfish when you make this decision, and you gotta also consider who you having this baby by. You know, is this somebody who you know is going to be in the picture, or somebody who's most likely not going to be in the picture? Or, you know, whether or not this person is going to be in the picture, are you still going to accept the responsibility of, you know, are you going to take it upon yourself to take care of this child, whether this man is in the picture or not? You know what I mean? I spoke on this before, I think, but I got a homegirl who was a single mother. Her son is grown now. I think he's like 21 or something like that, about to be 22. But anyway, I remember when her son was pretty much a baby, right? And her and the son's father never really got along. They never really seen eye to eye, probably from the time the baby was born, right? Or probably from the time she was pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, they never really seen eye to eye. And she really hated this man, you know what I mean? She couldn't stand his guts, mainly because he didn't accept the responsibility as his role as a father in this boy's life, right? So basically, he was a deadbeat dad. He was absent, you know, throughout the boy's whole childhood, right? So one thing I always respected about her is when it came to dealing with her son, she never painted an image in her son's head, good or bad, about his father. You know what I mean? She never, you know, she never came to him and was like, yeah, you know, your father ain't shit. That's why he ain't around. He a punk ass nigga. He a deadbeat. He don't love you. He don't care about you. This, that, and the third. It wasn't nothing like that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the type of situation where she didn't like him because he didn't want to be in a relationship with her no more. It wasn't nothing like that. You know what I mean? She really didn't like him because he wasn't there for his son. You know what I mean? And it could have been a type of situation where if he wanted to be there for his son without being in a relationship with her, she'd have been cool with that. You know what I mean? But like I said, one thing I always respected about her and admired about her is that she never, throughout her son's whole life, spoke ill about his dad, even though she had ill thoughts about him. Even though she didn't like him, she never tried to make the boy not like him either. You know what I mean? It was a type of situation where, as time progressed, you know, different situations came about that made her son make up his own mind about her. You know what I mean? As he got older, it was times where they were supposed to link up. You know what I mean? He be MIA, he wouldn't show up, or you know, it would be times where he promised him he gonna do this for him, or he gonna help him with that, or buy him that, or do that, take him here, or do something like, you know, it was so many times where he disappointed him. You know, after a while, he made up in his mind, like, you know, and then plus he got older and he started putting it together in his head, like, man, this man ain't never been there for me, you know, and then the few times that he said he was gonna be there for me, he never was. So, you know, the boy ended up, through his own experiences, not liking his father. You know what I mean? But his mother didn't encourage that in any kind of way. And like I said, that's one thing that I respected about her. And along with that, she fully accepted the responsibility of taking care of this boy, whether or not the father was in the picture. You know what I mean? She was real independent. She wasn't the type that was going out partying, you know what I mean, and leaving her son with, you know, all different kind of random people while she out partying or out, you know, doing whatever she needed to do to take care of him, make money, you know, provide for her household. You know what I mean? She was a single mother. She took care of dude very well. You know what I mean? She raised him to be a cool young man. And you know what I mean? She didn't what I respected about her as well is not talking ill about the father. She took it upon herself to raise him, you know, and not put that responsibility on everybody else in her life. You know what I mean? All her friends and family. You know, it wasn't the type of situation where she was just pawning him off all the time. You know what I mean? Or expecting her mama or her dad or anybody like that to provide for this child. You know what I mean? Like I said, I respected all of that about her. But it's a trip. You know, back in the days, it was a lot of situations like that. You know, I don't condone, you know, like I said, a woman speaking bad about a child's father to the child, especially before the child is even old enough to understand. But the reality is, especially in the urban culture, we have a lot of that. And that ain't nothing new. That's been going on since I was a kid, you know what I mean? Even though my mom was the same way, but my pops was in my life. know what I mean? But my mother and father didn't get along with each other, and as I got older, I came to understand that. But my mother wasn't the type to speak ill about my father to me and my brother. You know what I mean? Me and my brother got the same father. She never. Well, I don't know about my brother, but at least to me, you know what I mean? I got to speak for myself. To me, my mother never spoke ill about my father, even though they didn't get along with each other. You know, my pops was a stand-up dude, just like she was. She was a stand-up woman, and even though they didn't get along with each other, they co-parented cool, I suppose. You know what I mean? But despite that, like I said, even when I was growing up, it was common for a lot of single mothers to speak ill about their baby daddy to their child. But nonetheless, it was more common back in the days for a single mother to accept the responsibility of raising this child, and even though she might have had to struggle, she still took it upon herself to raise this child. But like I say, a lot of these females nowadays, they have these kids and they realize they made a mistake having this child at this point in their life. You know what I mean? They probably should have waited until they was better prepared to have a child. But nonetheless, ready or not, here this child is. And what do a lot of these females do? Like I said, they end up pawning the child off to any and everybody. You know, a lot of times it be for the sake of, you know, she want to go spend some time with this dude. You know, it's crazy. I done seen situations where it's another situation I know of, right? Just give you an example. This chick that I know, you know, a hoe that I had before, she had a baby with this dude, right? Now, at the time when they got together, he was supposedly some pimping, but whatever the case may be, they end up having a kid together, and I think her son is probably like 10 years old now, but throughout this 10-year-old son's life, he probably only seen his biological father probably like a handful of times. Like, literally a handful, like counting these fingers how many times he's seen him. But the cold part about it is, this chick, she would do shit like leave this child with her sisters or her aunties or whoever, her mama or whoever, you know what I mean? She'll leave this child with the family to go be with his dad and, like, you know, hang out with his dad. You know, they have, it done been times where she done had a relationship with this dude and knowing that he don't want nothing to do with his son if they got together. You know what I mean? Shit is crazy. You know, like I said, it's that selfish shit. You know what I mean? This bitch is really dropping the boy off with whatever family member to go see his father that don't want nothing to do with him. And lay down with him and, you know, get all sweaty in the bedroom and, you know, who got God knows what. You know what I mean? Shit crazy. But like I say, a lot of these young ladies just make selfish decisions and they really need to have a brain before they have this child. You know what I mean? Have a brain before you have a baby. You know, a lot of times, you know, I got a child that I didn't intend when I laid down with her mother to have. You know what I mean? When I laid down with my daughter's mother, I wasn't thinking to myself like, yeah, I'm finna have a baby with this bitch. But I ended up getting her pregnant and we ended up having a child. You know what I mean? But I'm still unselfish in the situation nonetheless. You know what I mean? And her mother is unselfish as well. You know what I mean? She's a solid mother. I gotta tip my hat to her. You know what I mean? But it's rare that these young ladies are considerate. And like I said, think about who it is that they having a baby with. Now it's just so fortunate for my child's mother that she had a baby by a solid dude this this concern for the child in the picture. You know what I mean? My daughter and I, we got a very solid relationship. You know what I mean? We love each other to death. You know what I mean? She sees me on a regular basis. She knows exactly who I am. It ain't no type of situation that when I show up, it's only for birthdays or holidays. It ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? We see each other on a regular basis, and it ain't the type of situation where when I show up, she don't know who I am, or she don't remember who I am, or all of that type of shit. And she feel uncomfortable when she leaves with me. Like if I come to get her, she not leaving with a stranger. You know what I mean? She's leaving with her dad that she knows and loves. You know what I mean? So, like I said, fortunately for my child's mother, even though we didn't plan to have her, you know what I mean? She ended up having her with a solid, somebody that was that was gonna be a solid father in that child's life. But it ain't no guarantees with that. You know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of these females be having babies for selfish reasons, but what they don't keep in mind is that 9 times out of 10, the motherfucker that they having a baby with is selfish too. A lot of these dudes don't be ready to have kids either, just like a lot of these females don't be. They still trying to turn up and, have as many different females in their life as they want. And they not trying to settle down, or they not trying to slow down and, slow their life down like, damn, I got this baby, so I can't go out tonight and all that old type of shit. Most young cats ain't trying to do that. So like I said, having a brain before you had this baby, that's something that you need to consider. You know what I mean? This dude that I'm fucking with right now, he ain't the type that's gonna be, a homebody, or the type that's gonna sacrifice his pleasure of going out or having fun or, ripping and running the streets for the sake of taking care of this child and spending time with this child. So let me not have a baby with somebody like this. Let me wait. And at least if I'm gonna have a baby with him, I need to accept the responsibility, in the likelihood that I'm gonna have to take care of this child myself. So, it's sad because just like Sinful spoke on before, you know what I mean, which is also a very harsh reality. A lot of these chicks be leaving their baby with these different people, and a lot of times the people they leaving the baby with is on drugs, and the baby having to see certain shit that they, really shouldn't have to see. Baby being left with this friend or this auntie or this grandma or whoever, and this friend, auntie, or grandma is having a dude around that's being disrespectful and talking crazy to the child, or being drunk or high and belligerent towards this child, or disrespecting the woman in front of the child. It's just a whole bunch of different things that children have to go through when they being raised by this selfish mother, or being birthed into the world by this selfish mother who a lot of times ain't even raising. You dig? Read some of y'all's questions. Anton says, yes, got to be a father to your child no matter what lifestyle, my humble opinion. See, Anton, I agree with you. You know what I mean? It's not ideal for a hoe to have a child while she's still actively hoeing, because this lifestyle is just, for so many reasons, it's not very well suited for a woman to have kids. And a lot of times these hoes end up regretting having kids. You know, it's sad. I've had hoes tell me like, damn, you know, I wish I didn't have these kids so I could really go hard for you. You know what I mean? I wish I didn't have to take care of these kids. Shit like that. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, damn, bitch, you regret having kids because you wanna go hard with your home. I understand you wanna go hard, but and that's another thing too. Speaking of a hoe going hard, right? This is one thing that's always a red flag to me. Now, like I said, it's not ideal for an active hoe to be having kids, excuse me. But it's real life, it's reality. A lot of hoes have kids. And me, I don't have a problem accepting a hoe that has kids. My thing is I always pay attention to this hoe's outlook as a mother. You know what I mean? Her relationship with her child, how she takes care of her child, her concern for her child, so on and so forth. And what's sad is, with a lot of young females in the game, a lot of times I meet young girls in the game, right? And they'll have kids. They might have 1, 2, or 3 kids. And as we continue talking, I come to find out that she's not taking care of the kids. Like, the kid is being raised by the grandmother or the grandfather or the dad or whoever. You know what I mean? So Biko says condoms are fundamental. That's real talk. That's real talk. But, you know, unfortunately, not everybody is a condom connoisseur. But anyway, like I say, it's a lot of cases where I meet a young hoe and she got kids, and it ends up being a situation where these kids aren't with her. You know what I mean? She don't see her kids every day. She's not taking care of them. They're being taken care of and raised by somebody else. Or her kids might be in the system. You know what I mean? The state might have her kids, or they might be in foster care or some shit like that. Now, shit happens. People make mistakes. So I can understand if a young lady in the game has kids that are in the system, or, you know, a family member or a friend or somebody got custody of them. I can understand that. But if you're not actively making an effort, if you're not making a serious effort to get yourself together or do whatever it is that you need to do in order to get these kids in your life, like if you just cool with the fact that your kids is in the system, or you just cool with the fact that your kids is being raised by a family member or somebody and they don't see you and talk to you on a regular basis, if you're a young lady in the game and you just cool with that, for a pimp, you know, that's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's crazy. Cause me, I think to myself, like, okay, she not going hard for her kids. So how can I expect her to go hard for me? And a lot of times it's crazy because she don't go hard for her kids and she not going hard for herself. It's like she ain't got she not allowing these kids to be her ambition, to fuel her ambition. And then she not even thinking to herself like, damn, you know, it's fucked up that I don't have my kids. But while I don't have my kids, let me go hard and put myself in position so that I can have my kids. And while I don't have them, I'm going hard. Like, they don't even think like that. A lot of times these girls, they don't have their kids and they still not going hard. So, like I said, I look at these young ladies just like that. I get to talking to them, and then come to find out, like I said, they ain't got their kids in their situation, and they living in a raggedy ass motel, ain't got no money stacked up, ain't making no real money, and if whatever money they do make is being blown on bullshit. Like, basically she's just an irresponsible female. I can't expect her to go hard for me. So that's a turn off to me. I'm not gonna fuck with nobody like that. I'm not gonna fuck with nobody that's not ambitious about their kids, ambitious about themselves, because they not gonna be ambitious about me either. And I'm an ambitious motherfucker. You know, I don't like struggling. I don't like, and especially with a hoe. You know, any real pimp would tell you, the last thing I'm finna do is struggle with a hoe. Like, bitch, you not finna come get with me and then we struggling. You know what I mean? You struggling by yourself and then you get with me and now we struggling together. Hell no. Hell no, because the last thing a pimp want to do is, you know, we call it giving each other a jug. You know what I mean? Like we might loan a pimp something or look out for a pimp. You know what I mean? Pimp need his room paid. His partner might look out for him and pay the room, or if a pimp need some gas money or something like that, or if he need a ride, you know, the pimp is gonna look out. But that's just me. I've been in situations where I might be fucked up and then I knock this fresh bitch and I need shit. Like, I might not have no money. We might not have no hotel to stay in. And I got this bitch though. You know what I mean? And she's a hoe. Like, I'm not finna go ask my partner like, hey P, man, you think you could give me a few dollars so I could get me and this bitch something to eat? Or P, you think you could pay for this room so me and my bitch will have somewhere to stay? Hell no. The pimping ain't that. No. Hell no. That's just me. Like, the way I operate, and it's sad because I've jugged cats that got a bitch. Like, in the game, anybody that know anything about the game, that is insane. It is insane and just crazy to have to ask for a jug when you got this, you know, when you got some work over here with you. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I mean? So, and if you, like I said, if a P is accepting a bitch that got these kids ain't in her life, and she just over there struggling and fucked up, and she ain't trying to make a change, she's not making an earnest effort to put herself in a better position, I can't expect her to do anything with me. That's going to be a situation that if I accept her, I'm going to be struggling with her. And I'm going to have to call Sinful up like, P, man, P, could you give me and this bitch a ride? Or P, could you get me and this bitch something to eat? Like, hell no. Hell no. I'm going to be struggling by myself first before I do that with a hoe. That's crazy. So, you know, like I said, the bottom line is a lot of these chicks, they need to have a brain before they have a baby. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times they have these babies for all the wrong reasons. And what they don't keep in mind is that the baby is going to be the main one suffering. Because even if your child is in good hands with somebody else, they still suffering because they don't have a relationship with their parents. Like, yeah, your grandma or your mama might be raising your baby or your babies, and she might be the greatest grandmother in the world. But that child still needs the mother in the life. That child still needs the father in the life. And if this child is being raised by this grandmother and missing his parents in his life or her parents in her life, they gonna suffer in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? They not starving. They not struggling financially. You know what I mean? And they get love from the grandparents. But every child needs both parents in their life. It don't always work out that way. It doesn't always work out that way, but every child needs both parents in their life. You know, if it's possible, if both parents are still walking this earth and ain't neither one of them passed on into the afterlife, that child needs both parents in their life. You know, and if it's not possible to have both parents in their life, that child at least need one parent in their life. You know what I mean? If that child ain't got neither parent in their life, it's just fucked up. And bitch, you selfish for bringing that child into this world, knowing before you even give. See, a lot of these bitches be knowing. It's crazy the times that we living in right now, because a lot of these bitches be thinking to themselves like, damn, you know what I mean? I can't wait to drop this baby so I can get back home. You know, and drop this baby off with my mama. so I could go do my thing. Shit crazy. But that's how some of these bras think. Arthur Yates, I appreciate you as well. Common sense, you a fool. Need a ride from point A to point B, huh? Me and this bitch. If I got a bitch, I'm not asking another pimp for nothing. You know what I mean? Like I said in my live last week, a lot of cats will have a bitch and be asking the next P for something because, like I said, they the type of person that don't challenge theyself. So they not gonna challenge her either. They not, and like I said, challenges is pretty much a form of pressure. They not gonna put no pressure on her to make something happen. He not gonna put no pressure on himself to make something happen. So he gonna put the pressure on his partner to look out for him and her. That's crazy. That don't make no type of sense. Zero type of sense. Biko says this generation has been trained to be bird brains and gold diggers by social media. That's real talk, and it's crazy because, like you said, the gold digger thing, that goes back to what I was speaking on the last live about being reactive versus proactive. A lot of these chicks, you know, a gold digger is a reactive type of female. She's sitting back waiting for this, you know, somebody to give her something, and 9 times out of 10, she's not really thinking about what she needs to do in order for this person to give her something. You know, that's how social media grooms a lot of these chicks to be. To think that all you got to do is have an ass and be able to shake that motherfucker on a video, and you know the world is gonna be at your feet. And the shit definitely don't go like that. Things like intelligence and class, you know what I mean, integrity, dignity. It's sad, but things like that aren't promoted amongst young women, really young people, but especially young women. Like basically what social media tells these young females is you don't have to have a brain, you don't have to have any class, you don't have to have any character, you don't have to have any integrity. All you gotta do is be able to shake your ass and you're gonna be cool. Logical Atheist channel says if a man can look past sex, if a man can look past sex as first priority, he can conquer anything. I agree with you as far as that, because for a lot of guys, there's nothing that motivates a man like sex in a lot of cases. For most men, there's nothing that motivates them like sex. Like you might have a guy that, like I always talk about the gym, right? You might have a guy like, damn, I don't feel like going to the gym. I'm tired. I ain't had no sleep. Like I've been working. I'm tired. But a badass bitch might come and say, look, if you go to the gym, I'll give you some pussy. The motherfucker gonna be, he gonna be sparked up and he gonna be in there pumping it out. So it's crazy. That's just one example, but it's crazy how sex will drive a man to do some amazing shit. Sex will drive a motherfucker to do some amazing shit. I've seen it so many times, and it's crazy. Just think about that, what I just said, right? How sex will drive a motherfucker to do some crazy shit, some amazing shit. So keeping this in mind, when it comes to hoes, breaking on tricks, if you keep in mind that a man will take drastic measures in order to get into your pants, if you keep this in mind, then get some money from him. In a lot of cases, it shouldn't be that hard. You know what I mean? But like, a lot of women don't understand their power. A lot of women don't understand the power that they have just by being a female that a man is attracted to. But it's crazy. Like I said, when a lot of these females have that reactive mindset, a lot of times they operating in their feelings. They think they know everything, and because they think they know everything, you can't tell them anything. It's like, damn, bitch, if you just like opened your mind just a little bit and let some game creep off inside that motherfucker, you could do some amazing shit. But, hey. These comments. Carlos Castillo says, I tell my 3 boys to make sure that if they have a girlfriend, that they see that the girls have both of their parents and respect their parents. Hey, Carlos, that's a major thing. I even go off of that too. Like I say all the time, man, you gonna learn a lot about a female by finding out how she was raised, by finding out about her background, see what kind of people she was raised by. Even if she didn't necessarily have both of her parents, it's important for a female to have some sort of male figure in her life growing up. Even if it's not her father, it could be a stepfather, or it can be an uncle or a grandfather or something like that. But of course, it's crucial to have both parents in your life. But for a female, it is so crucial to have a man in your life growing up. And I'm not talking about just a male. I'm talking about a real man. That's going to teach you as a young lady how to, 1, respect yourself, and then 2, have respect for men in general, and therefore respect whatever man it is that you get into a relationship with. Because like I said, back to them reactive females, right? A lot of them were raised in single homes with no type of male figure in their life growing up. And a lot of them types of situations are situations where they seen the mother, being disrespectful towards whatever man that she was dealing with. Just imagine this. A young lady growing up in a household where she sees her mom talking bad about her dad that she don't even know, or talking bad about her boyfriend or whatever, gossiping with her girlfriends about, how the men that she done dealt with ain't shit. And, the mom is just disrespectful towards, it's a fucked up cycle. The mom was probably raised in the same type of environment that she's raising this girl in. So whatever type of, when she goes out in public, when she's doing business, whatever the case may be, she just has a resentment towards men because she's bitter with herself. So A lot of these females end up being in the game. A lot of these females end up being prostitutes and hoes, and they don't even have no type of understanding as far as how to respect a man. All they know is how to be disrespectful. All they know how to do is be bitter. And it's really because of that void that's always been in their life for, like I said, a respectable man. They didn't have that influence growing up, so it's you can't really expect much when it comes to respect from a female like that. But like you said, Carlos, that's real talk. It's important. Of course, every situation ain't ideal, but if your sons could have their choice, yeah, they definitely want to deal with young ladies that have both of their parents in their life. You know what I mean? Because just like a female needs that man in her life to give her some sort of understanding on how to respect a man, and not just that, but just what to respect in a man, just like what not to respect in a man. She needs that mother in her life as well to be in touch with her feminine side, to know how to conduct herself as a lady and have class and not be ratchet and not be too I guess masculine, if you will, or be too harsh. You know what I mean? You don't want her to be like no roguish type of female. You know what I mean? That's just like, for instance, right? It's this a few of them come to mind, but it's one hoe that I had, and she was just like a real, like, she had her ways about her that was like, womanly and everything, but in a lot of ways she was just like real aggressive. You know what I mean? And she was real like, just like, you know what I mean? And she had a child, and she used to talk to her child like her son. She used to talk to this boy like he was a bitch ass nigga. And this is a child. Like, he not even grown. This is a child. You know what I mean? And I used to have to, because that's just me. Like, whether it's a child or a grown man or whatever, I just don't like seeing a female, especially if that person didn't warrant that disrespect. If they didn't disrespect you, I just don't like, or they not respecting themselves or whatever the case may be, I can understand that. But just like, in general, I just don't like seeing a female calling a man a bitch, or just talking, disrespectful towards a man or a young boy, period, or just a child, period. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's your child or not. Like, bitch, you're not gonna talk crazy to this boy in front of me. And I would have to, pump her brakes on that a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, like, like, you his mother, like, you talking to him worse than a man should talk. A man shouldn't even talk to a young man like that. But bitch, like, you talking to this boy crazy as hell. You know what I mean? He gonna have self-esteem issues, and he gonna be confused in the head and all type of shit. You know what I mean? But this is somebody who this hoe that I'm talking about, she didn't have a good relationship with her mother. You know what I mean? Her mother was another person that she would talk crazy to. She'll talk to her mother like a nigga in the street. You know what I mean? So she didn't really have, like, she wasn't really in touch with that soft, feminine side of herself. So and then, I'm pretty sure that in her childhood, I can imagine she's been through some rough things, so she probably thought that she had to have this tough exterior about herself at all times, but that type of shit ain't cool. So like I say, as a woman, or as a young lady growing up, it is ideal to have both parents in their lives, because it creates that balance. You know what I mean? So Jay Jones says LA got some of the classiest peas around, flat out. Jay Jones, I don't like to classify myself as an LA Pete, but I am a Pete from LA, and I really try not to be I do my best not to be biased, man. And especially because, you know, I done pimp cross country, so I have a lot of influences from different environments cross country, you know. And then two, a lot of it has to do with how I was raised, like I say all the time, you know what I mean? My pops was a great influence on me, and I appreciate him for that. And that has a lot to do with how the type of man I am in the game. But I do have to agree, man, like, you know, you got your suckers everywhere, just like you got your solid individuals everywhere. But it's just something about, because see, with LA, you know, it's the track capital. California, period, but especially the LA area. It's more tracks, it's more blades in LA than it is anywhere else in America. Probably the world, you know what I mean? And there's certain advantages that you're gonna have pimping on the track. The back page pimp, strip club pimp, the carpet pimp. You know, it's certain shit that they not gonna pick up. They not gonna grow up in the game as fast as that pimp that's pimping on the track. They not. It's a lot of things that they gonna miss out on. You know what I mean? Because when you on the track and you sweating hoes every day and you knocking bitches and you getting knocked and you chopping it with peas and you doing green shit and you get roasted like a motherfucker by doing the green shit that you doing, yeah, you gonna get sharp to the motherfucker real quick. A P who only got 6 months down in LA, he gonna be a lot sharper than certain cats that got 6 years down in a different type of environment. Like I said, the back page guy or the strip club guy or the carpet guy who's sending them in casinos and bars or whatever the case may be. That cat that only got 6 months in on the blade, he's gonna be sharper in a lot of ways than that cat that got 6 years in the game in them other areas. You know what I mean? He's gonna be a lot more seasoned because he's gonna go through certain things that's gonna sharpen you up. If that cat is sitting in the hotel room all day with the bitch posted online, he ain't gonna never get this type of shit. So, but it's good to just be well-rounded with your game, period. You dig? The idiot from LA. Man, you learn a lot pimping on the track. That's true. That made me want to do a video on that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to speak on, you know, the different avenues of this game and how you learn from it, man. And the different advantages. Because, you know, it's certain shit that you're gonna learn in them other environments that you ain't gonna learn on the track too, but that track is gonna, that's just me. The track is gonna produce the best P. Y'all see I've been down in that H2O. Go ahead and get you some water in your life if you haven't today. A few more questions. Just emasculating them. That's true. That hoe that I was talking about that I had that was talking crazy to her son. She didn't understand what she was doing. That's definitely what she was doing, emasculating. Crazy Horse, Omaha in the building. What's up with it? I got family in Omaha that I ain't seen since I was a real little child. I I need to go check in with them. I might pass through that Omaha one. I passed through there, but I didn't stick around. I just went to the mall, got something to eat, and kept going. But I do need to come around that Omaha and see what's up with it. Check in with my family that I ain't seen since I was I'm talking about a real little boy. They moved from Cali and went to Omaha back in the day. I ain't seen them since. We friends on Facebook. Need to go check in with them. B-Code say, my stepdad from Mississippi, RIP, taught me a lot. Yeah, you know, like I say, it ain't got to be necessarily the man that planted the seed, you know? Like me, for instance. My daughter has a brother. My daughter has a brother that's a year older than her, and he's not my biological son, but you know, he called me dad, and I'm pretty much the only father figure he ever knew his entire life, from when he was 2 months old on. So, you know, I would like to imagine that he done learned a lot from me. You did, even though I didn't plant a seed. Southside Deucey say, AOG, how you start with the chick is how you finish with the chick. That's a common cliche that is so true. That's why you got to start off solid. Jay Jones, hey, that's real talk about Seattle. Seattle is one of those real slept-on places. For real. I've had Seattle on my mind, actually. I ain't been up there in a minute, but Seattle has been on my mind. Great potential. Ray Gunn, I appreciate you. Good looking. The idiot from LA said you gotta be big stories. Big stories, let me see. I'm trying to think of a big story. Should I tell that big story? Should I tell that fig story? Let me see if I could, cause that fig is cool, but just Fig is Figueroa. That's a street in LA. That's the whole stroke. Let me see. I'm trying to think of a different fig story. I got a real good one, but I'm trying to think of another one. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, fuck it. I'll tell this fig story, right? I had a young lady down on Fig, right? This in the morning time. It's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, right? So she down on Fig. She over there in the 90s. She on like 95th and Fig, and she's not from LA. She's not from California, period. But she done been down on Fig a few times. So she knows a little bit about what's going on over there. But she not the most familiar, right? But anyway, so this hoe, she down on 95th and Fig. She goes over to the back street and she's sitting down over there, you know, because she's frustrated about how her morning is going or whatever the case may be. She's an easily frustrated female, but that's neither here nor there. So she walking back towards Fig walking down 95th, right? And some some OG ass, like gangster ass bitch over there. This is how she describing her. She big and she just looked like a hardcore gangbanger, banged out ass bitch, right? So the bitch come up to her and she, come up to her in a real cool type of way. And she like, hey, what's up? You from Hoover? And the bitch was like, nah, I ain't from Hoover. And she was like, well, it's your, you got a man from over here or something? It's your folks, is he from Hoover? And the bitch was like, nah, my peoples ain't from Hoover neither. So she say this bitch snatches her phone from her because the bitch had her phone in her hand like a goofball in the first place. The bitch, and this is a real little bitch. The bitch who I had down over there, she like 5'1", 115 pounds. So the bitch snatches her phone and tells the bitch like, yeah, if you want this phone back, you gonna have to pay taxes to the hood, Groove. You gonna have to give me $25 in order to get this phone back. So the bitch goes down the street. It's a laundromat like a block or two away. She go to the laundromat, find somebody, let her use the phone, and she called me and tell me what happened. She like, this bitch just snatched my phone from me, so now I'm over here, I ain't got no phone, and she told me I gotta pay taxes if I want the phone back, and woo. I say, where you at? She tell me, so I say, bitch, go down the street to the gas station, and I'm gonna meet you at that gas station, right? So the gas station is on Century and Fig. So the bitch calls me again, and she like, oh my God, the bitch had a stick and she was chasing me down the street. I was almost to the gas station and she came out of nowhere with this big ass stick and she was chasing me, and I ran into the street and I almost got hit by a car, and I just jumped in the first car, with this trick who was rolling down the street, and now I'm calling you from his phone. So I say, all right, bitch, go to the McDonald's on Imperial and Fig. And the bitch like, well, what if she come down there? I say, trust me, bitch. The bitch, she's not finna come down there. She's not finna come down to Imperial and Fig. Cause see, the bitch don't understand this, but those is two different enemy territories. You know what I mean? Century and Fig, that's borderline Hoover's Denver Lane Bloods. But when you get down to Imperial and Fig, that's straight up Denver Lanes. You ain't gonna catch no Hoovers really over there. You know what I mean? Or if you do, they being low key, they not tripping or nothing like that. But like this bitch. So I tell the bitch, I say, trust me, she not gonna come to Imperial and Fig. So the bitch come down there, and I meet her at the McDonald's and I pick her up, right? Now mind you, she got some sandals on. So I take the bitch first. I go to Big Five. I get the bitch some tennis shoes. You know what I mean? And no, we didn't get the shoes from Big Five. We went to some shoe store around there. But we went to the shoe store, got some shoes, some tennis shoes. You know what I mean? So, and then we go to Big Five, and I get two metal baseball bats, right? So I tell her, I say, yeah, bitch, you know what I mean? We gonna go back over there on Fig, and we gonna ride around. We gonna find this bitch. When we find the bitch, you point her out. I'm gonna pull up, and you gonna jump out, and you gonna beat her ass with this bat, bitch. And so she was nervous and shit, right? Cause she not no violent type of person. She ain't ever did no shit like this, right? But I'm telling her, I'm like, bitch, you gotta let this bitch know, like, she can't be stealing from no hoe. You can't let her steal from you like that. Like, she gonna learn some respect about this shit. And I mean, like, at this point, we don't even care if we get the phone back. She can keep the phone, but she gonna get her ass beat. We gonna fuck that bitch up when we see her, right? I'm telling her all this shit. So she nervous and shit, and she like, damn. Okay. Whoa. So I could see that she nervous, right? So we go to the park, and we go to the park. Like I said, I got 2 bats, and that's what I'm telling her too. I'm like, you gonna jump out and you gonna get her, you know what I mean? But I got your back, you know what I mean? If she get the upper hand, I'm gonna get out and we both gonna get her, you know what I mean? So I was like, you ain't got nothing to worry about, you know what I mean? We gonna fuck this bitch up. So we go to the park, because like I said, I can see she nervous. We go to the park, and I give her one of the baseball bats, and I'm showing her, you know what I mean? We go to a tree, and I'm giving her the demo on the tree. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bitch, you gonna hit her like this, you know what I mean? Bing, bing. So she swinging on the tree. She being kind of timid at first. And I'm like, bitch, you got to get aggressive, bitch. Like, get mad. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm telling her, like, the tree is the bitch. I'm like, get her in the head. And she like, bing, bing. I'm like, get her in the legs, bitch. Bing. Hit her in the stomach, bitch. Bing. So I'm like, you ready? And now she sparked up. She kind of hyped. She like, yeah, I'm ready now. Let's go. So we went back over there on Fig, and we rode around. I'm talking about, we rode around for about 45 minutes. And we never seen the bitch again, you know what I mean? But I was so mad. But the bitch was mad too. She was disappointed. She like, damn, where's she at? She really wanted to get at her, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's probably a good thing that we didn't find her, because I had her so amped up, she probably would have killed that bitch, you know what I mean? But it was a lesson in that, you know what I mean? I basically wanted to let her know, like, first of all, you got to stand up for yourself, and then second of all, which is also partially first of all, bitch, I got your back no matter whatever's going on, bitch. Like, you're not by yourself around here. I got your back. But yeah, that's one Fig story that I got, you know what I mean? It was a funny little story. But yeah, just thinking about that shit had me dying, because she was sparked up. She was ready to go. After because like I said, she was nervous at first, but after we went to the park and she got some practice swings in, oh, she was ready. That bitch could have been King Kong. She was going to be in trouble. Hit her in the trunk, right. Yeah. Just says, I lived in Thousand Oaks for a minute and then tried Van Nuys. LA is a lot to handle. Yeah, LA is. I know you said you're from the Midwest. I don't know what part of the Midwest, but yeah, LA is a lot. Thousand Oaks is a nice ass area though. It ain't you ain't gonna encounter really no bullshit out there. The idiot from LA says, see what I mean? Fig will teach you a lot. That's real talk. Fig gonna sharpen you up. And see, like I said, like you know, them types of situations, yeah, like bitches have, you know, encounters with tricks in rooms and shit like that, but it's just certain shit that you gonna pick up on the track that you're not gonna pick up nowhere else. Yeah, she was gonna be on the Figueroa Dodgers for sure. Batter her up. She was gonna hit that bitch out the park too. Oh, that's some funny ass shit. I'm gonna have to do another video about track stories. Some of the funniest and most interesting track stories. Said still caught a date, yeah. Frito OG said, damn, Freeze, I seen the throwback Sinful posted back when you had the butter waves. Yeah, man, I had the dips in there. Something tough, man. I'll be missing my waves sometimes, man, especially when I see cats on Instagram with these sick-ass waves, man. I'll be missing my waves. The idiot from LA says, how do you feel about young P's these days? It's a few young cats that I respect, you know, but in general though, it's sad because most of these young cats, they idea of what a pimp is just fucked up. Most young cats pop all this ism and all this, that, and the third, supposedly, but their behavior is that of somebody that's only concerned about money. Like I was talking about that reactive versus proactive video the other day. A lot of these cats, these young quote-unquote P's, is reactive type of dudes. And the fucked up thing with that is all they think about, all they concern themselves with is the money. You know, the money is the most important thing with a lot of these dudes. So they neglect a lot of important areas in the game as a result of that. So a young P in the game should really be concerned about soaking up as much game as possible and learning as much as possible in the game, you know, and really getting a true understanding of their role in the game. You know, say they need to be taught. This is true, they do need to be taught, but before they can be taught, they got to open their mind up in order to be taught. They have to have a desire to be taught. You can't force them to be taught. They still need to be taught nonetheless. They need to learn. But hey, we all come into the game green, so you know, I didn't know everything that I know now when I first got started, so hey, I wish them the best. Arthur Yates says, hey Freeze, quick question. Has your time that you have spent in the lifestyle been worth it, and have the benefits been up to your standards? Yeah, it's been worth it. I don't really regret any of it, man. I appreciate just about all of it. You know, the benefits have been worth it. You know, of course, there's been some great financial benefits, but beyond that, I've traveled all over the country, and ain't no telling, you know, if I'd have chose some other path, whether or not I'd have seen all the things that I've seen, experienced everything that I've experienced. It just became the season of a man as I see myself to be. And like I said, I just think I was perfectly suited for the game. And the game in a lot of ways has brought the best out of me. If I hadn't chose this path, certain attributes within myself probably would have stayed in hibernation. So yeah, I definitely appreciate the game. It's definitely worth it. Nah, I ain't never been to no players ball. Don't plan to go to any players balls. That's not really my thing. I ain't gonna even speak on that, good or bad. It just ain't my thing. Ray Gunn says humility is always needed. That's the truth. A lot of people don't understand is humility will take you a very long way. humility will keep you, you know, it'll keep you where your eyes and your mind is in tune the way that they need to be, so that you can move about most effectively. Yeah, the humility is because, you know, the opposite of humility is pride, conceit. When you're too prideful and too conceited, you know, you blinding yourself to a lot of things, and therefore you neglecting a lot of things. So no, I've never talked to the bishop, and I don't know him. It's a trip way back in the days before I was even in the game. I'm talking about like early 2000s. I used to see him in traffic because he had that Cadillac. I don't know if he still got it, but he had this Cadillac that was very distinct. It had a very distinct look to it. It was a green and gold Cadillac, and when you seen that, you knew that was him. So I used to see him in traffic back in the days around the Hollywood, West LA, Beverly Hills area, but I never met him and never chopped it up with him either. Just says, have you seen any P's finally get out of the game successfully? Yes, I have. Of course, the majority don't end up that way, but just if you're not familiar with Andre Taylor,
but the premise is
you can go take a look at him. His channel is if you look up Andre Taylor or Gorgeous Dre, he'll pop up, and he has a weekly show that he does on YouTube entitled Daily Fire. He's somebody that was once in the game, and if you take a look at him and learn his story, you'll see that he's definitely made it out the game successfully, and he's been out of the game for, I want to say, somewhere around 20 years, and he's still successful to this day. So that's just one example, but no, I know a few other cats that made it out the game successfully as well. So yeah, the answer to that is yes. I know a few. Oh, okay. You subscribed to him already. That's what's up. Yeah, he's definitely one. Yeah, like Elena said, he's definitely doing some phenomenal things. All right, I'm gonna give y'all just a minute to ask any other questions that you may have. In a minute, I'm gonna wrap this up. Gotta still go get my issue in that gym. And handle some other things as well. Alexander Bowles says, how much you bench? Honestly, I'm not sure right now. I'm pretty sure, though, that I probably don't bench as much as I would have maybe, say, like 2 months ago or even a month ago, because I've been focusing on getting lean. So I haven't really been going heavy. So I'm sure I've lost some strength. But I'm not even sure right now. I couldn't even tell you. I haven't maxed out in a while. Strange Fruit says, how much water do you drink every day? I would say somewhere between a gallon and a gallon and a half. See, As you can see, I'm almost done with this gallon. It's about right there. And the night is still young, so I'm pretty sure I'll drink quite a bit before the night is over with. I don't know how to pronounce your name. The Jim W.F. Stanley says, what type of shoes you got with that fit and hat? I know it's kind of dark right now, but I got a brown belt and I got these shoes. The shoes match the belt, the hat matches the pants, the shirt matches the socks. Carlos says, how much weight you trying to drop? I'm not really focused on losing a certain amount of weight. I'm just working on getting to a certain look right now. My mission right now is to get down to a 30-inch waist. I'm somewhere between a 33 and a 34 right now. And shit, I had allowed myself to fall off drastically. Shit, a couple months ago, I probably had like a 37, maybe even a 38-inch waist, which is unusual and uncomfortable for me. But when I started getting back on my workout, I was about 213. I'm about 199 or 200 right now. Somewhere between that, 199 or 200. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, the 30-inch waist, but that's my mission right now. I had it before, so I'm working on it again. You dig? I'll be happy when I get down to that. Got to have that V shape, you know what I mean? I got a decent V shape now, but I know it can be better, so I'm working on it. Steffi J. Thornton says, freeze. Do you drink alkaline water? Yes, I do. Not every time though. Sometimes I drink spring water too. Percy Flyer says, what encouragement do you have for any P's out here, homeless, doleless, and fucked up? Percy Flyer, Nakarashi, I appreciate you as always. Much appreciated. Any homeless and doleless P's, you got to stay down. See, one thing you have to understand is that's normal in the game. I don't really know of any P's that never leaked. That was seriously pimping and dedicated to the game, and you know they didn't have any side curves and they shit, and they wasn't doing anything else but pimping. There's gonna come times where you homeless and doleless, where you fucked up. But see, the thing about it is you just gotta stay down and stay focused and stay dedicated. You know, if you stay at work, the natural outcome is for you to come up. It's natural. It's no other way. Like, you just have to have the mindset that I'm gonna stay at work and I'm gonna come up. You just gotta have the mindset like it's not. There's no other outcome. There's no other option. I'm gonna stay down and I'm gonna come up. It's just that simple. You know, we all go through it. I done spoke on it before. I done slept in the Greyhound. I done slept in casinos, bathroom stalls. Shit, I done slept in my car. When I didn't have a car, I done slept shit bus stop benches, all type. Well, not bus stop benches, but maybe a park bench or something like that. I'd have been fucked up. I'd had to sleep outside a time or two. But one thing I always did is I always stayed down, and I always stayed at the bitch during them times where I was fucked up. And I couldn't see myself having it no other way but my way. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time I'm gonna come up. So, and that's one thing. I'm glad you asked that, Percy, because that's one thing about the game that's like fucked up now. You've always had your cats that kind of like gave the leaking pimp a cold shoulder, but nowadays it's so fucked up. When a motherfucker see a P leaking, it's like, they giving him the cold shoulder like a motherfucker. But when I was coming up, man, I was fortunate to come up around the type of cats that was like, if I was leaking, it's like, come on, man, let's go pimp. You know what I mean? The motherfucker ain't got to necessarily give you a jug every time in the form of some money. Sometimes that jug might just be chopping it up and popping pimping and giving the pimp some encouragement. Or like I said, say, come on, P, let's go to the mall, man. Let's go get in traffic, man. We're going to get in some hoes' faces, man, so you can come up, man. You need to get you a bitch, man. Like, you can't be sitting around here just sitting around. Now, man, you got to get at work, man. Let's go. Come hop in the car with me, man. Let's go pimping. That's how it used to be. And you still got a few cats that operate like that. But like I say, man, the selfishness is just promoted so strongly. Motherfuckers like to make fun of P's if they leaking. A lot of cats are getting cahoots with bitches, enjoying these bitches and roasting this leaking pimp, which to me is crazy. Like, I never understood no shit like that. To me, that's the most sucker shit in the world. But you got a lot of cats that do that type of shit. It's crazy. But man, you just got to stay down, man. And even if you ain't got nobody to hold you down like that in the game, man, you just gotta use that as motivation. Use that as a motivational factor, man, and turn the level of intensity with your ism that much more up. You know what I mean? You're gonna be all right. Matt Bashirs says, I think I remember you saying something about cutting out bread for 2018. You still on that? Yeah, still on that. I still ain't eating no bread. Haven't had a slice of bread or just bread, period. I ain't been eating muffins or any type of bread. I'm just not on no bread right now. BM717252 says, what inspired you to involve yourself in fitness? Well, it kind of happened, like, it was a short time frame, but it happened kind of gradually. Like I said, when I turned 30, which I'll be 37 this year, but when I turned 30, I stopped drinking alcohol and I stopped eating fried foods. It had already been some years since I stopped eating red meat and pork. And shit, it had been even more years since I stopped drinking carbonated drinks. So, the last major thing that I cut out, like I said, was alcohol and fried foods when I turned 30. And a little while after I turned 30, it was Father's Day 2012. That's when I got serious about fitness. You know what I mean? Because I was just thinking to myself, like, I know I got good genetics because I've been in shape before. Plus, I know how the men in my family is built, and I'm built like them. So, I just wanted to appreciate my body in that type of way. Appreciate it in the form of building it up and making it look, better than the average. Because I knew I had that to do. And it's a blessing to have good genetics. And you got a lot of cats, and I didn't want to be like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of cats that got good genetics and they front on them. You know what I mean? Like I know certain peas. There's certain peas that I done seen in the game that once upon a time, maybe when they was younger, they was on swole or they was cut up or they was built a certain way, and they let themselves go, and they got some cold genetics. Like they got genetics that certain people would kill for. That's just like me. I know I got certain genetics that people would kill for. You know what I mean? I'm able to build muscle very fast and relatively easily. And I'm able to gain weight. You know, I consider myself to be a mesomorph. You got cats that's endomorphs that can't really, you know, get big. You got cats that's ectomorphs that can't really get lean like that. You know what I mean? So I think I'm like the ideal mesomorph. And, well, not ideal, but I just know I got good ass genetics, so I didn't want to front on my genetics, you know what I mean? I wanted to make the most of myself and appreciate, like I said, appreciate my body in that way where I build it up to look better than average. So that's what made me really get into fitness. Robert said, look how God works. Yeah, I'm almost done with this one, but when I am done, you could definitely come back to it and watch it as always. Matt says that's dedication. Yeah, like I was saying, Matt, the last live I did, which was Saturday night, I was speaking on being proactive versus reactive, and you know, when you mention dedication, it makes me think about what I said that night, which was, you know, you got a lot of times where you might not feel like going to the gym like me. If I operate based on how I feel all the time, it's a lot of times where I won't make it to the gym. But my values, what's important to me is what keeps me dedicated. You know what I mean? So it's important to me to go to the gym and work out and build my body up. So despite how I feel sometimes, I operate based on what's important to me, which is going to the gym. So that's how I stay dedicated. I just think like that. I stay self-disciplined and I stay dedicated by keeping in mind what's important to me. Domestic Goddess says you look great. I appreciate you. Thank you. Just says transformation. Yeah, that's true. Jawan Malden says, bro, you ever had to fight in the game? Yeah, I have, unfortunately. I'll talk about that in another video. I got a whole lot of stories in the game. That's one. Robin says you are a great role model. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that, as always. Steffi J. Thornton says, Freeze, I don't know if you remember, but you gave me advice on what books to read. I'm ordering them. Do you have any good books to read on the art of communicating and leadership? Well, I do remember you. I don't remember exactly what books I told you exactly, but I'm pretty sure that I mentioned The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a good book on leadership. And as far as communicating, how to win friends and influence people by Dale Carnegie. I'm pretty sure I told you about that book too. That's a good one. That'll help you out as far as communication goes. Benjamin, you already know by some of the things that I say that I'm real big on that book. Yeah, I highly recommend that one. A Higher Loyalty, that sounds like a good one too. All right, Steph, you stay blessed too, man. I appreciate you for tuning in. But we've been live for 2 hours, and I got a few things that I need to go handle, y'all. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you for hitting the like button. Please do so if you haven't already. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your donations. I appreciate your shares. I appreciate your support in every which way that you come with it. And we're going to do this again in the near future. You did. Y'all stay blessed. And once again, get you some water in your life if you haven't already. I'll holler at y'all.